Okay, new tech today. Not easy tech. And if you don't know about the M1 buffer stealth nerf, and if you don't know about the fourth rune bug, you might not understand what I'm talking about in this video. I would recommend going back and watching the back to basics cancel video that I put out, and then also watching the video about the stealth nerf that I just put out earlier. Well, I think it was less than a week ago, but it was like last week. So put out last week. But there is new tech that it's kind of old tech actually, but it's new in the sense that it actually has a purpose now that it didn't before, because of the fact that they fixed the M1 buffer. So if you're not familiar with the fourth rune bug, what I mean by the fourth rune bug is if you stand on certain terrain, your fourth rune comes out and hits the ground, even if you're aiming up. We still don't really know why it does this. It's stupid. It sucks, but it happens, and we're aware of it. A long time ago, when Jeremy first found that and started putting out, a short or video or whatever he put out about it, we were trying to figure out why it happens and if there was like a way around it or whatever. And I remember at the time, and he apparently tested this independently and found the same thing, but I don't think we ever talked about it. But if you jump while it's coming out, it does a weird thing where you sometimes don't get the animation for the fourth rune at all, but it definitely still comes out because it still does damage to targets. And it seems like sometimes it even comes out simultaneously with the third rune. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes there's a noticeable gap in between them, but it's not there. Your jump animation overtakes the animation and the rune itself visually appearing on the screen, but the target still takes a tick of damage. So I'll try to do it here on like a blank target, just so show you what I'm talking about. And the reason that this even re-entered my fucking awareness at all is because a guy in the Discord, in Jeremy's Discord, named Null was saying that he does this on purpose, and has for multiple seasons, even before the fourth rune awakening bug, to sort of stack up two runes really quickly on somebody and get like a quick 140 of damage that they wouldn't otherwise see coming, and actually don't see coming because it's not visible on their screen. So he does them from a distance like this. That wasn't quite it. Let me try again. Okay, see how that last little tick that came out there? No rune actually came out to do that. It just happened. And that's the Null rune. Now, where this is interesting and where it becomes useful in the cancels and combos that I set up is that when NetEase nerfed the M1 buffer, our fix to that, our solution to that, was basically just, okay, well, you have to wait for the hit marker on the third rune now, and then that's when you do your cancel, and then you'll still do the swing. So the post M1 buffer nerf 3-rune cycle looks like this. Right? So he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 big bars of health. So he's at 5, like 25 there, whatever, right? Now, if you jump cancel your fourth rune so that it does that invisible rune while you're in this range, because jump and swing are not animations that cannot mutually exist at the same time, you can do both of these at the same time, you are allowed to be in a jump animation and swing. So what happens is you jump to replace the rune, the fourth rune, and then swing immediately because you're canceling like as you're midair. And it doesn't cause any conflict. You're replacing the old M1 buffer with tricking the game into thinking, I'm not throwing a rune, I'm just jumping, and I'm allowed to jump and swing. And then they all come out kind of at the same time. So here's what that looks like in practice. And you see now he's got 1, 2, 3, 4 big bars and a little bit over 25, so he's technically at 435 there. And I know that because it's 45 for the first swing, 70 each for 4 runes, another 45 swing, and then 3 ticks of 15 damage each from the aura that surrounds you while you're in Awakening Rune state. And the timing on that, like as far as the amount of time that it takes, is the same amount of time that a 3-rune cycle takes. But it's technically a 4-rune cycle. There's really no difference between that timing and a 3-rune cycle timing. But that's 70 more damage. It works really good on big body tanks, so your Venoms, your Things, your Groots. Penny also works on Penny. I've hit it on Emma in Diamond form. Hulk is a really good target for it. In fact, I'll even put a clip from a Hulk game in here where I hit one on him. And it's really not that hard to pull off in game once you get the timing down for it. And the timing, again, like just to really hammer it home, is you're doing swing, rune, 1, 2, 3. When you get the hit marker for that third rune, you just jump and then hit whatever your canceled for awakening is. So canceled with the jump right there, and they all come out at the same time. And the neat thing about that is, like, say you've got 2 Thor Force at the end of that because you got one back from the hammer, then you can do hammer throw cancel and then launch into a second one, and he dies. It's pretty high damage because it's essentially taking the 3 rune cycle amount of time and making it a 4 rune cycle in that same amount of time. You can also just do like a 4 rune cycle, but you know that's a little bit slower, and you actually have to wait for it to come out and wait for the hit marker. You don't with the Null rune, and it's the same damage. So you guys can go play with that if you want. Once you get the timing down for it, it's really not that hard to do. I would say that it's not really worth it to try doing on like Stranges or Mags, because you know between Bubble and Shield, they're probably going to block most of the runes anyway, unless you know that the Shield is broken for Strange, or you know that the Shield is on cooldown for Mag. Then you can do it, and Bubble is on cooldown too, because Bubble will also fuck with it. And even in the clip that I'm about to add to the end of this, I think Hulk, like right at the end of mine, after I get them all off, he fucking bubbles and jumps away anyway. So, whatever. But it is like a pretty big chunk of damage that most people do not expect to come out of you. So, yeah, something to try. And, like I said, again, big shout out to Null Ecor, who even reminded me that this was a thing. Like I hadn't thought about it since the 4th rune bug testing, but since they got rid of the M1 buffer, like this is actually really useful now for the close range combos. So there you go. Take care. Have a good one. Bye.